So this was the idea I had for roadside graphics. Now if I did this as a PETSCII game, which was never really the idea, but user-defined graphics are turning out to be quite complicated. There's a lot of stuff to do with which memory bank the VIC-2 chip is pointing to, stuff like that really. So that's probably going to take me a while, and I would like to write a racing game in BASIC. So if I have to use PETSCII graphics, I thought I might as well, do something that's basically it's the kerbs I wanted to improve. So apart from these big massive grey dots there, and you could actually redefine the characters I'm using here so they step in 2x2 pixels. Then you'd get like 2 of these grey dots on the outside for each character, but they would be a quarter of the size. Not sure actually, because these are 4x4 pixels each of these squares. So I'll show you. Well, you can actually see that's one character. So there you go. It's that one there. If I change that to white, it'll make more sense. So it's the reverse of that character. So I mean, all you got to do is print this and then print the same thing in the opposite colours. And I've made it 32 columns at the moment, although you can't really tell. And you got the mountains. I'll probably do another like layer for the mountain. I can't be bothered to do that. But these mountains, let's work this out. I think you only need to move these. They're 40 columns and 60. No, not 60. 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's 5. So what that means is you're going to redefine 5 of these, and then you can scroll these left and right, and the same for these as well. So it's like, but these are going to be the problem because you have to print everything from here down to here as one thing. This is a background colour, so I can check if your car hits the curb, and then we might take some damage off. I'll have to watch the video on how that Amstrad game works. So yes, it is super blocky, but certainly you've got enough memory, and the fake rasters are going to look a bit crap, but there's not going to be that much difference drawing just that section there, which you'd have to draw. You'd have to draw this, and same on that side. So you only got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I suppose you could do that, but they have to be done at the same time. So my idea was you print this one and then that one, and you have to like alternate them. So you're going to have 2 sets of these, so that's a total of 4 variables. They should fit in the 256 characters. So I was looking at the VIC-20 thing and I was thinking, well, I could do it a bit different actually. So I mean, if you wanted fake rasters, you could actually do it like this. I'll do this one here. Control light green. Is that green? Yeah, 6 is green. And then make sure reverse on. So we've got the reverse characters, and then I think this is the one. So there you go. It looked like that. So I don't know if that's worse or better. Actually, that looks better to me. Not by much, but not really sure what you'd do for that one. But maybe you just leave that as it is. Yeah, we are on light green, so yeah, I'll leave those on the other side and you can decide which looks better or less crap depending on your point of view. So we're not just changing the colours for these, we're actually changing the colours for the whole lot because it makes no difference. There we go. I don't know if that looks better. I mean, well, yeah, the idea, there's nothing for me to save because I'm going to have to manually do all these. The mountains are easy because it's the same 3 characters repeated, and the pattern will repeat 1, 2, 3. Actually, that's a mistake already. That's a mistake there, but I'll clean all that up. I know basically what's going on. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, and then I'll probably leave that as it is, and then 1, 2, 3. So yeah, you get the idea though. And you could actually scroll those in parallax, which would help because that means you only have to scroll that half the time, and then you'd have like a parallax effect. So I don't think there's any scrolling on the mountains on the Amstrad game, even when the road turns. So yeah, you're gonna have this business here. So this is one variable, that's one variable, and you're gonna have to swap these round manually. So it is a lot of characters to print, and you got to remember all the I don't know which is better if you do it this way. No, it don't really make any difference. It's going to be a tight squeeze whether they're going to fit, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you got 14 characters. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 126. Yeah, I should be able to get the things in. If I squeezed it down a bit more, you might be able to get the whole lot in, but because you've got all the cursor things. Having said that, you only need, basically, it's all the reverse character, business, and the color characters where they change. So, although if you do it this way, you never have to change the green, but it makes no difference because you have to go to the red anyway. So if you go, yeah, that makes no difference. So I'm trying to work out if you could have this entire thing as one variable, because it's 256 characters maximum, or yeah, it's 256. I'm sure it is. Maybe it breaks at 256 and 255 is the limit, but one of those two. So really, if you got this, you can work it out. It's a 40 column screen. So I'm trying to find a way of getting all this into one thing. So you got so that's 2, that's 4, 6, that's 8. So if you only had like that many, it's not going to look great, but anyway. So the bottom of the mountains were darker, and then you had like lighter on the top, to simulate like a snow-capped mountain sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, you got 9. No, it's not going to fit, is it? Because if it was a VIC 20 and you had 9, you'd struggle there. You'd be close to the limit. So on a 40 column 64, no. So whatever you do, this entire block here this square block here, has to be printed, and then this has to be printed. So it's going to be a bit shit, but you're going to print that, move the mountains if you're turning, and also you're going to have to do the curves on the road. But the curves on the road are going to be easy because of the way these things are done. So that's how they do TRS-80 games and things like that. Yeah, I think Zach's in this one. They use loads of these like graphics. I mean, basically it's like this, and if it's reversed off, you get the individual pixels like that. That's not a good one. There we go. See, like that. So yeah, I mean, basically it depends how long it takes for the C64 to print all this stuff, because like I say, you got 14 across, 15, 16, yeah, so you got 14 across and 9 down, so that's 126. So, and you're gonna have the reverse on, you're gonna have that once, and then reverse off there. So you're gonna have 2 color changes and a reverse on it. So you're gonna have 4 characters extra. So it is gonna be 18 times 9. So if it was 10, it would be 108. So we're well within the limit, but I don't know how fast that's gonna print. So my next step is basically to put these graphics into the speech marks with all the color controls, cursor controls and everything. So I don't know if it would be faster to go like down and then, well, we count them. Well, actually it is going to be faster, because from here to there is 40 characters, but from there cursor down is 1 and then it's 14, so it's 15 characters. Well, actually that could be a problem. Although each line they get less, so the first one is going to be 14 characters back, and the next one is going to be 13, 12, so I should add that up. So 14 and 13 and 12 and 10 and 9 and 8, 7, 6 and 5, so 14 to 5, halfway between, so it's about 10, so it's 90 characters, 150. Oh, that's cutting it fine. It's cutting it very fine actually. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. The road might have to be wider by 1 character. It does make a difference, you'll be surprised. So I mean, doing the stripes is easy. These are the curb stripes, but doing the rasters as well at the same time, so I don't know what I can do there. I mean, in the real world things get a bit, you know, brighter as you go into the distance. So how would you do it? I think there is one which is a thin stripe that goes across. Let's get the torch and test something here, because you won't do those stripes like on the Commodore cartridge boxes. You know what I mean, those kind of stripes. Yeah, I can't find it at the moment. Is that one? I mean, don't look in the middle to me. Is it down here somewhere? It doesn't look like it, but it's close enough to the middle. So, but actually you can't really mix the colours, so you have to start like with yellow, yellow, orange, 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 and then brown, 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 brown. So let's try that. So they'd have yellow. So they have 2 yellow. And then you'd have orange, which I think is, yeah, is that one. And they'd never move. And then brown. Don't look great, does it? Looks a bit fruit pastel-y, but I don't know. Maybe you can play with these. Maybe have a bit more brown. And you want orange. Yeah, there's no real way to see, the beauty of this is, if I do the characters uppercase or lowercase, it don't change, and there is one really nice character that's on the lowercase. Hang on, yeah, so we're on the lowercase. There's a really weird one, I think it's one of these. Yeah, it's that one. So you get like diagonal cross hatching. I don't know if that would work actually. Let's try it here. I'm sure it's this one. Kind of works. Works on that one. I don't know about yellow. Yellow is quite bright on the C64, so yeah, that one. Yeah, it don't really work for that. So it does work for that, so. But they look like raster stripes, they're too different, so I'm not really sure. I need something that's a bit less than that. Oops, you want to do that. Yeah, that doesn't really work. You want them on the bottom, don't you? Yeah, I don't know about that. But you might as well do the raster stripes because, well, so I'm trying to think. Well, orange and brown, I suppose. Yeah, reverse one. Reverse one, and we want orange. Orange, brown, right, okay, so brown. Yeah, actually they're the wrong way around, didn't they? Dark colour goes with the reds. And this goes with this. Actually you can barely see the grey now, so that actually looks quite good. So do you want orange, which is that one? Shit! Like I said, there's no undo thingy on the C64, so. Control white. It's one of these. I think it's that one. Yeah, there we go. There you go. So, a few colour choices there. So, that's really that. I'll do them the opposite way round so you get an idea of what's going to happen on the other side. Yeah, control reverse on. And we want. Here we go. So there'll be more action going on, sort of thing. yeah, obviously I'm not going to change the red, but you get the idea. The red and the white will swap as well, but you can do whatever you want because you're basically doing a software blip. Because when you save it all up as a single variable and then you like print R1 string whatever, well, it'd be RL road left and RR road right. It basically stores all that as a single machine code instruction, and then it basically blacks that entire section of memory that it's assigned that variable to. So it is software blipping. So that's how that would work. Now I can't really do anything about the grey here. This is how it is, and that's there. So I mean, you could probably make the grey a bit smaller, I suppose. It's just experimentation really. But there's well, actually you probably couldn't, but that looks fine as it is. And this could be any colour, so you can make this green if you wanted, or if you're going to do green here you could make this like brown and grey or something like that. So yeah, it kind of works. Can't do any decent clouds. I've tried until I've given up basically. I can't do any decent clouds in PETSCII, but I think if it's fast enough, and we're going to use paddle controllers to steer, and basically we're going to take the value from the paddle controller and divide it by 32, I guess. Yeah, because we don't want too many positions, which will just make it easier to move the sprite. So, and the other cars are going to be automatic anyway. So yeah, I reckon be interesting to see how fast this would run this way. So memory is not a problem. That's the one thing about the C64. Even in basic with 40k, these graphics take up well, I'm not sure how much, probably takes up 256 bytes if you max out the variable. So just like, we're talking about 1.5k for each of these, and there's going to be 10 of them in total, 5 and rasters swap round, so that makes 10. So you're talking about 15k for that, less than 1k for all the sprite graphics. And because I'm only using like 3 sprites or whatever for the cars, you've still got 5 sprites to do clouds in the sky, and they can move really slowly, parallax effect. So that leaves you more than enough to separate the game engine into like 4 sections. So in each of the 4 sections, these rasters will be done all the time, and one of these, the bottom half, and then every other time you do the, these as well. So it'll be a little bit slower, but not much. And then once every 4 times, you'd move the clouds left or right, the sprite clouds. So well, that could be a bit of an issue if we have a 32 column game. So that's the only thing that worries me, the 32 column aspect. So, but maybe the clouds, because you don't turn for that long, so then it's just a load of data really for like the track layout, because obviously you're going to have to put certain things in like a huge list, and every time you step up one in that array, so it'd be TL, I'm not sure how many you'd need. Let's say 255 to be on the safe side, 0 to 255, and each one of those will have whether it's left or right. So I'd have a number 1 to 5. So that way you'd know if you're going straight ahead, slightly, or whatever, and then it's just a hell of a lot of donkey work. But I think that's my next step for this. So, but I don't think this is really Poo Position anymore. I'm going to have to think of another name. The Chase HQ thing is going to be called Chase FU. And I might see if I can do a Chase HQ style game using this idea, because it'd be immensely fast. And because I'm only doing one if then statement for the paddle controllers, whether you've got the fire button on or off, you still have to press the space bar. So that's another if then statement. I haven't got the memory address for like peeking the keyboard scanning. There is one of those, and you have to turn that off when you're doing the thing. So I might, but for this you only need accelerate, and if you take your foot off, if you take your finger off the button on the paddle controller, you're going to decelerate. So I might make the car move up a bit when you accelerate and stuff like that, really. But I think this is a goer. But I prefer the green, I have to say. I'm going to go with green on this one. Green and light green. If I did them both as checker patterns, you know what, I'm just going to check that now. This one here, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah, the dark one goes with the red. So yeah, it could be grass, I suppose. Grass effect. Look, just throw your reading glasses away. It will look like a PS5 game. Just put it like that. No, it won't. I know it won't. But it's really just to see how fast I can make it without even compiling it. And then when I release them, then you can go through the code and see what you like, what you don't like, change anything you want, if you pay me for it. Nah, I'm only joking. Wasted a hell of a lot of battery time doing this crap. And there's no actual coding here, this is just PETSCII graphic ideas. I did have a look at PETSCII Outrun, I must admit, and I couldn't really find anything I could use there that I liked. They use like, what do they use? They use a comma, speech marks and something else to draw like the curves of the road. And now I suppose it looks less chunky, but it kind of looks less like a game. So if I could get something that was similar to Pole Position on the Atari VCS, that is, I'd be quite happy actually. It's certainly not the speed, I'm talking about the graphics, and as long as it was still playable, that's good enough for me. So I think we've settled on these crosshatch patterns, and you could actually change these so they're like, you know, user defined graphics, and the blocks are smaller because these are 2x2 pixel thingies. Well, it still looks alright actually. Well, actually it looks a bit, still looks a bit iffy, but I think this is better than what I had before. So I think when everything's moving, as long as it hits about, I'm going to say 3 to 5 frames per second, that should be the same speed as the Amstrad game. And this will be the slowest way of doing it, but it would be the quickest for me to code up. So yeah, I think what I have to do is do the 5 sets of graphics for the mountains times 2, so that they're scrolling. So, and you're gonna have to do the 10 sets of graphics to do this. 2 pairs of the the red and white and the light green and dark green swapped, and 5, because we're gonna have, like I said, we're gonna have straight ahead, slightly left, fully left, slightly right, fully right. So it'd be 0 to 4, and 2 would be straight ahead, and you can take 1 off and then another one off. You can actually store negative values in the string. but it doesn't really matter, relative or negative, it depends how you code it up. But yeah, I have to do these now, and I have to make sure that this will all fit into one variable. That's my limit. I might have to take one off, so it might actually end up looking like this. Control reverse off. And I'm gonna have to just there we go. Which grey is that? There we go. Reverse on. So that's what it could end up looking like. It really depends. I need to get like these into the thing. So there's no way to make these any smaller, I don't think, because you're gonna hit a problem here. There's only 2 shades of green, so. But I think that looks about. Well, actually, it don't look great, but really, I'm gonna hit the wall on the 255 characters in a single string variable. But they need to be in a single string variable because that's the fastest way I can print them. Actually, I just remembered you're gonna have to do like home and so many down. It's going to be about 15, so yeah, it might have to look like this, but I think that looks alright. Actually, on the camera it looks alright. So just imagine like a little car, boom, 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 meow, meow. So yeah, I know how I'm going to do this thing. So I had another great idea. It's for a completely different kind of game, a Star Wars game, and that's going to be making the most of the C64's memory and the tiny amount of memory the graphics use. But also it's going to be using the paddle controllers in an unusual way. So, might be able to do something like gyrus. But yeah, I'm not really ready to show that yet because I haven't done a zero coding on that. That's just the idea, and I know it'll work. I just don't know how fast it would be. Yeah, so that's it really. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's absolutely useless video with not a single line of code, but it's a good thing to show what you can do with PETSCII graphics if you really think about it.